What is up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of the We Sport podcast that we've been meaning to do for so long. I'm here, Dilly Willy's here too. Dylan, how's it been, man? How about them Titans?
Um, am I censored on this podcast
you can
again?
you can say whatever you want. Who cares?
I've contemplated suicide a few times last week.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, the Philadelphia Titans are coming for you, man. They're coming for you, nice and easy.
We're a farm team to the Philadelphia Eagles at this point, and it's incredibly tough. Like we're like Philadelphia Eagles G League team right now. They're like, you know what, you're good. Come up. Like they're about to call up Jeffrey Simmons from practice squad. Like it's insane right now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm struggling.
You think Derrick Henry's gonna get moved there next?
Um, I think Henry could be moved. I don't think it'll go to Philly. But he could be moved,
Never,
sure.
never say never when it comes to Howie Roseman.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna just recap week seven's games. Just kind of talking about, just getting a brief rundown. So Jaguar Saints ended 31-24 as Derek Carr seemingly threw the ball to the end zone for Fabian Moreau, and Fabian Moreau failed to come down with it to tie the game up. Jags come out of this one and move on to 5-2. Anything on the Jags zone for especially them being in conference or in
I
division
mean,
rival?
Jacksonville's a good team for sure. I mean, their offense is whenever they're clicking, they're a really good offense.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley's been kind of quiet since that Buffalo game where like people were like, oh, he's back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Christian Kirk, I mean, he's worth the money they paid him.
Yeah.
I know everyone hated that contract, but he's been worth it. They have a really good offense. Their defense, I feel like, is a bit questionable, but Derek Carr is just really bad at football. I thought it was funny because when he was in Vegas or Oakland or whatever, people like love to say, "Oh, Carr's the bright spot on this team," and like he's not. He's not awful. It's just like he's on a team now that realistically should be probably like a 5-win team. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good offense, and like
Yeah.
he just is blatantly the issue. Their
Yeah.
offensive line isn't great, but yeah, I mean Carr's just not great. I mean he was kind of overrated.
Yeah, I will say one of the bright spots for this game really showed out was MVP for the game was easily Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne has been balling these last few
Good
weeks.
dude,
He's been
yeah.
phenomenal, especially after last year. Started off rough in the beginning of the season last year, and then showed up in the end of the season, and
Yeah,
then hasn't really put the taken his foot off the gas yet. So Travis Etienne has been phenomenal this year for these not the New Orleans Saints, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
yeah.
Next, we're going to be moving on to the Commanders versus the New York Giants. Nothing
Good
really to
gracious.
say. That game was horrendous. Um, Sam Howell is just getting smacked around in that offensive line. I want to say though that I don't believe that it's really on the offensive line though, and I know it's kind of shocking.
I mean, from an outsider's perspective, I'll say there's a few things, right? I think the biggest issue right now, there's two major issues, right? Like say we have like a bubble graph, right? So you have these big bubbles and these small bubbles of like the issues, right?
Big and small bubbles, man.
The biggest bubble right now, you have two huge bubbles, like a set of balls, man, like two huge
What
bubbles.
is wrong with you?
The two big bubbles are quarterback play and coaching. Um, I've been very adamant as I didn't think Sam Howell was the guy. Now, could Sam Howell, in the perfect situation, be a borderline top 20 quarterback? Sure, he could be. I think Washington this year should have embraced a tank, and maybe they still will have a top 10 pick, and it's a very deep quarterback class. Um, I don't think you guys should have really passed up on some of the quarterbacks last year. You guys were in some spots to take quarterbacks.
No, man, we
like
took a we
even
took we took Emmanuel Forbes to go.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, your second round pick corner's done nothing to like. It was a bad draft. It looks to be a bad draft so far. Who knows? I mean, I will say this: to really rank a draft, you have to wait like 3 years. So
Yeah,
Emmanuel Forbes could be really bad this year and then be really good the next 3 years and be an all
yeah.
pro. And you don't know.
Mhm.
Jartavius Martin? Is that your second round pick? The same.
Who the fuck knows?
I haven't seen him on the field, and I've heard like, has he even gotten a snap yet this year? Like, has he been on the
Yes,
field?
yes, he has. He's been on the field. He played in the last game against the Giants. Yeah, but he's
Okay, so that's good.
mainly been on special teams.
Oh, for second round pick. Okay. Uh, but yeah, so I mean, I think that's a coaching. That's an entire issue when it comes down to your entire team. So I think this year you're probably gonna have a top 10 pick. Genuinely, I mean, you guys started off kind of well, but like the last few games have looked really rough. I think you guys will have a top 10 pick. I kind of called this when the season started that I think you guys were going to be bad, and I think you guys are going to promote Eric Bieniemy to head coach. I feel like that's what's going to happen. So I
Mhm.
think what should happen is realistically this offseason, you completely slash the front office, head coach gone, DC gone, probably GM gone, and you just rebuild that.
Yeah.
And then draft a quarterback, whoever the GM likes. I
Yeah.
think that would make sense because the team's good. Like the team is competitive. Could the offensive line be better? Sure. Could the defensive backs play better? Sure. But the team overall is very talented. And I mean that could mean that you keep your GM at that point, to be fair. But and for the Giants, why the hell did you pay Daniel Jones this money? I everyone knew that was a bad contract other than Giants fans.
Mhm.
And now they're still like, oh, is that that bad? You're getting outplayed by a career backup. Like, I don't know. I mean, they both teams kind of suck, not gonna lie to you. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
whatever. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. Like I said, it was, good outing for Tyrod Taylor. I can't really ever hate on Tyrod Taylor. He's a dog. It's always good to see him go out
Fun
there.
player.
Yeah, tough game to lose, especially when you're, the Commanders who are trying to find that big stride that they usually find within this time of the season. But we're not talking about the Commanders today. Tough loss. Go on to Philly. God help me with that one. Next game we
Don't talk about
have
the
the
internet.
yeah, we have Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks went in, put up 20, beat the Cardinals 2010. Cardinals just keep on tanking for Caleb Williams. Rich Gannon still can't make an adjustment at any point in time, and Seattle moves on to 4-2.
Not too much to say about that game.
Yeah.
Arizona's just not a great team. I've been
Yeah.
honestly impressed watching Josh Dobbs this year. I mean, it's because I was a UT fan. So watching Josh Dobbs like not suck has been pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I know Kyler Murray's cleared to practice, so he may play soon.
Mhm.
For that point, Geno Smith is a really fun quarterback to watch. Like
Yeah.
some of his throws are just ridiculous. But that's about it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of what I expected to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Now, next game, Chargers at Chiefs. 2-4 Chargers went on into the Chiefs and they got smacked around. I know I can't stand it. I don't know if Dylan can stand it either, but the fucking Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce bullshit was on full throttle that game. Um,
Yeah.
it's so fucking annoying. But minus the fact Mahomes once again balls out. Chargers came up massively short again, and Chargers
Yeah.
lost 17-31.
I mean, it seems like Chargers just don't have Casey's number for like the past 4 years. I mean, honestly, but it seems like nobody in the division has either. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I mean, it is kind of what I expected. Again, I think earlier, like before the season started, I always get high on the Chargers because I love Justin Herbert. So I
Mm.
always think it's the year for them. But good gracious, if Brandon Staley isn't like the worst coach in the damn league, dude, like
Yeah.
this is this is awful. Like that offense putting up 17 points is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, true.
I mean and Casey. So that's about it
And
for me.
I really want to start hearing more about Quentin Johnston too, more, man. That guy, I mean, it's like I never hear about him anymore since he got drafted
They're
to
not
the
putting him in the
Chargers.
game. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting outsnapped by what, Josh fucking Palmer, something like that. Who
hey,
fucking
Josh
knows?
Palmer's a good player, but yeah, he's getting outstopped by Josh Palmer.
Yeah, Josh Palmer, man.
UT Laker.
Raiders and Chicago, mid off of the century, where Dante Foreman had his career fucking game of the year versus
I
the
love Dante.
Tyson whatever the fuck his name is, went on
I
in.
think it's Badgent.
Badgents, yeah, went on in and just handed that ball off like no one's handed that shit off before.
I mean, he played a clean game. He handed the ball. They ran really well. Vegas is so bad this year, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
Especially with Chandler Jones, like whatever the fuck Chandler Jones is doing right now. I saw him say something about like he was making new Gucci or fucking Kanye shoes and he was like stepping on ashes and stepping on a white post. I don't know. He's so weird. He's going
lost.
through something. But
Yeah.
without that being said, I mean, they scored 30 points. Whatever
Yeah,
way you want to score it, they scored 30 points. It's more than almost any other team scored this week. So
sure
good
shit.
for them. I mean, it's what they did.
Yeah,
They ran the ball extremely well, and that's about it.
right. Now I would say kind of game of the week. Browns Colts. That game was a great game to watch. I don't know why, but
Sure.
it was probably, I might just be because it was high scoring, sure. But I would say the intensity, the back and forward, but Indy got fucked out of this game. Simply, they got fucked out
Yeah,
of that game.
the refs were bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Indy got fucked on the holding. I believe it was the guy out of, I think, Kansas State or TCU. I don't remember the corner's
I'm
name.
not too sure.
Julian Brents. Julian Brents, I believe
Ah,
he held Amari Cooper, called it a PI when Brents wasn't even near him. But overall, good game for Cleveland. That Cleveland defense has really shocked me a lot because throughout the years, that Cleveland defense was very iffy, especially with all the talent that they've had. And now they're
I
really
mean, are we really going to start bragging on Cleveland's defense when Indy scored 38 points?
no, but they did play phenomenal for me in fantasy. So,
It's
I,
fair.
I had to give them that.
Um, I mean, so Cleveland beat us pretty bad, and I'll give them that. So Cleveland has a really, really good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they have a really good defensive front. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
The issue is I've been so underwhelmed with Cleveland this year. Like they played well against us, but it's probably their only really good game this year was against Tennessee. I mean, that was about it. Um, I don't know what Deshaun Watson's doing. Like he came back this week and now he's officially out next week. Like I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Even when he's been in the season, like he hasn't looked good. Um, the defense, I mean, they let up 38 this week.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Did they let up 38 or was there some defensive scoring?
I believe there was a blocked kick or something like that. I believe
Okay.
there's something that happened. I don't really know the full extent of what happened that game.
But I mean, the point still stands. I mean, letting up 38 points, even if we take away 6 or whatever for that, I mean, it was just not a great performance by them. They shouldn't have
Mm-mm.
been competing with Indy to a 1 point game. Indy's
Yeah,
in a bad team, but I mean, come
yeah.
on now. Like
Indy has a really nice future though with Anthony Richardson under center for them, which is really nice.
if he stays healthy, which is a big if at this point.
True. So now biggest upset
He's
of the
gotten 2
oh,
injuries in 4 games. Go ahead.
what was it? A concussion and then the pectoral,
The
right?
shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 injuries
And
in 4 games.
that sucks. But now moving on to upset of the week, Patriots versus the Bills. Josh
Yeah.
Allen never fails to fuck up a game because I now am a certified Josh Allen hater. I believe that Josh Allen is a fucking overrated piece of shit, and I will never, ever, 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 ever bet on him to win MVP ever the fuck again. He just flat out fails and competes with the people he plays with, which is
Stop. This is going to be a damn repeating record at this point. It's a stuck record. I have been saying for years, Buffalo has to have a change because for the last 3 to 4 years, their entire team has been, we need Allen to have a ridiculous game to win games.
mhm,
That is what it's been. It has
mhm.
always been. If Allen doesn't have, like, look at the playoff games. Allen, if he doesn't have 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, 380 yards, they lose.
Yeah,
That
easily.
is insane. Sean McDermott should be on the hot seat at this point. Like,
Mhm,
I'm for real. Like, this is ridiculous.
mhm.
Like, why does Allen have to have a 380-yard, 4 touchdown game? Like, you can go watch KC games where Mahomes doesn't play well, but they run the ball well and they play good defense and they win games.
Yeah, they don't
Like,
really.
even some of the you can look at the San Fran game in the Super Bowl a few years back. Mahomes didn't really play well in that game, but they just had a few shots that he was able to make with that, obviously the lost play to Tyreek,
Mhm.
and they played really good defense. Like, I'm so disappointed in the fact that somehow me as an average fan can see the issue, but people who are getting paid millions of dollars to fix this team can't can't get more wide receivers in the building, can't lean more on the run game. The
Mhm.
defense doesn't look inspiring. Like
Mhm.
I, I don't know. Like letting up 29 points to New England, dude. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Like
it
not
that's
we. I mean, I'm not a
yeah,
Buffalo fan, but come
yeah.
on, man.
That's bad, especially when you are and we even saw it again in the Giants Buffalo game too. Giants and Buffalo, it's where Josh Allen plays to his competition. That's the issue. And what?
People keep saying Allen plays. I don't agree. He plays to his competition. Allen plays situation football, and sometimes he'll throw a pick and stuff, and you're like, "What? What are you doing?" But other than that, I mean, I don't think he plays his competition. I think his team isn't very good. I honestly.
Yeah, and especially losing Trey White for the rest of the season, and then James Cook, not being. Sometimes James Cook pops off, and then other games James Cook doesn't pop off, and it's a very back and
Yeah.
forward with James
He's not a
Cook.
workhorse back. Like they need somebody who can carry the ball 20 times a game and
Yeah,
consistently get 80 plus yards a game. Like,
and
that's what they need.
especially a guy with Dalton Kincaid too. You have a weapon like him, and
Who
he has.
hasn't done anything this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now moving on.
I
Oh,
sorry.
no, no, my fault. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I thought Damian Harris would be that guy, but but you got to understand at this point, Buffalo's window is kind of closing because eventually you're gonna get into the depths of Allen contracts.
Hmm.
And when you get into the deep ends of Allen's contract where you're paying him $50 million a year, you really have to have a competent team. And they're drafting well. I'll give them that. Like Osiris Sorens grabbing him in the second round was a great pick for me.
Yeah.
But I think there's a point where this offseason, I need to see them make a move and get a wide receiver too and get a running back and get 20 carries. But go ahead. Next game.
Yeah. Next one, Falcons Bucks. Nothing really to talk about. Desmond Ritter recovered from last week.
Who cares? Yeah.
Big headline story though. Bijan Robinson and that whole Arthur Smith situation. Thought that was
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
But Bucks fall to 3-3. They'll be playing again tonight against the Buffalo Bills when we go over that game. Lions Ravens. I thought this game we would have more to talk about, but the Ravens absolutely smacked them around by fucking 32 points. Really embarrassing performance by a team that people are looking at as a Super Bowl contender, only to put up 6 points on the Ravens.
I mean, teams have bad games.
True.
That's about all.
Yeah. It's you can't really back that up when it's down the line and they actually need to start playing good teams.
I mean, Baltimore looked good, but go ahead.
Yeah. Steelers, Rams. Rams, I believe, were up big in this game, and then Matt Canada had his one phenomenal drive a game, and they ended up stomping back from a 17-point deficit. Steelers pick up the win, move on to 4-2. Broncos, Packers. Broncos shocking. I would hate to say shocking the world, but they shocked some people, beating the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love once again looking just kind of inconsistent. I'm not a big Jordan Love fan. Denver picks up a win here, which, I mean, good for them, I guess. It's not going to really help them in the long run, but who gives a shit?
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins, Philly. Dolphins went on in against Philadelphia and lost 17-31. Jalen Hurts having kind of a knee issue that game. Tua Tagovailoa turning the ball over, I believe, once, and then Jalen Hurts turning it over once too. Kind of shocked that this game wasn't a little bit more closer than I thought. I feel like it was close, and then it kind of just
it was close for probably 3 quarters, and Philly got some plays down the field, and that was it. I mean, it's got to kind of jump on them. Like it was 17-17, I think, in the fourth, and then they just got like 2 quick scores.
After Jerome Baker got the pick six. And then finally, Monday Night Football, where I was even shocked. 49ers at Minnesota went on in. Captain Kirk, Mr. Primetime Kirk Cousins, who's 2 in fucking 1,000 in a primetime game in his life, goes in, and I will say Vikings defense. What's his name? Christian Bynum, the GOAT, recorded 2 interceptions, the one to steal the game away.
2 in the fourth quarter, yeah.
Yeah, good win for Kirk. Brock Purdy is now out with a concussion this week, and Sam Darnold will be playing this week versus I don't know who they play because haven't looked. But now we move on to week 8 Pick Ems. Now, Thursday Night Football. I think this game is interesting. Bucks, Bills. How do we feel?
So, I mean, there's a few things to break down, right? So the Bucks defense has been playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a big Buffalo game. I think they're going to score a lot of points here, and I think it's going to be a blowout. I think whenever you get beat by a team in the division that you shouldn't be beat by, you're going to get coached a lot harder that week. And so I think they're probably going to stomp Tampa. I think they're going to stomp them. I think it's probably going to be like a 15-point deficit. I think it's going to be significant. I could be wrong, but I'm just kind of getting that vibe that Buffalo's going to come out here and just stomp.
Yeah. I'm gonna obviously take Buffalo, just for the fact that you'd be crazy not to take Buffalo in this game. Obviously we could have a surprise and something could happen. But now Titans, Falcons. The 4-3 Falcons are traveling down to the Titans to take on the 2-4 Titans.
And the Oilers uniforms.
Yes, and the Oilers uniforms after they just traded away Kevin Byer to the Philadelphia Eagles for Tremaine Edmonds. So Dylan, Titans or Falcons?
Titans.
I'm sorry, what?
Titans.
Okay.
This is a few things. Um, so who's starting quarterback is the interesting thing. So it's most likely Levis, and I think this is a good game for Levis to step into.
Mm-hmm.
I think the positive for Atlanta, or the positive for Tennessee, and for Levis at this point is say Levis starts, and I think he will start. I don't think it's going to be like a coordinating series. It's going to be him, the primary quarterback. You still have Henry, you still have Hopkins. Traylon Burks is coming back this week, so you still have some players. I think what would make sense realistically is the fact that Atlanta, I don't think can score many points quickly. They
Mm-hmm.
kind of have to have a similar kind of mindset to what the Titans did in like 2019, where you have to have these slow, methodical drives where you're a 4 yard rush, 6 yard pass, 2 yard rush, 3 yard pass, 6 yard rush. It's like you have to have these slow, methodical drives, which is good for Levis because that means he's not going against like a Mahomes where he's thrown into the fire and Mahomes put up 14 points in 2 quarters or in a quarter, and now Levis has to come out here and start throwing the ball
Mm-hmm.
consistently. I think it's going to be a good game because you want to see what you have in Levis. Now they have a short week because on Thursday night the next week they play Pittsburgh, so Levis may start 2 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm gonna obviously pick my team. I'm gonna pick Tennessee here, but I wouldn't be shocked if we lose. Like I mean, at this point we're 2-4. Like if we get like a top 10 draft pick and can get like Marvin Harrison, I'm cool with it at this point. So
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
whatever works. But
Yeah.
I think we'll win this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons here just because popular pick. If I don't really want to trust a rookie quarterback against
Sure.
a
They
good
have two more
pass.
wins than us too. That's fair.
Yeah, in a good more in a better pass defense too, especially. Now going on in, the Philadelphia Eagles will be traveling to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Commanders. This game could go legitimately, and you're gonna hate me for saying this, but this game could go either way. I just think because it's an in-division game, Washington has to at least get that one win on
I mean,
Philly.
in division games is tough. Yeah. I mean, I think Bayard will play this week.
God damn
Uh,
it.
well, I mean, let's talk about Bayard for a second. So, no, I'm being for real. So, a lot of people thought he was going to get traded. Like, this wasn't like I wasn't shocked when he got traded. The only thing I didn't love trading him to Philly because I was like, damn, they already took AJ. Like now it's like a Titans team over there, like a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it's frustrating when you see like players you really liked on another team. It's like I was a
Mhm.
huge AJ fan. Everyone knows I was a huge AJ fan. You may have seen the draft video when I almost burst into tears.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, I mean, with that being said, right, I was a big Bayard fan. I grew up around where he went to college. I used to watch him at college. Like I was a big Bayard fan. So watching him get traded sucked. Now he is on a decline. He's not a bad safety. He's still a very good starting safety at this point in his career.
Mhm.
The issue with Bayard is he's now 30. He's owed a lot of money next year, which is going to be
Mhm.
interesting how Philly balances out because this is next year. You're going to owe him 14 million. You're starting purchase contract. Like you're about to go through a lot of money issues. When I think the Eagles are about to take a step back, I think they're kind of, without people knowing, kind of pushing their chips in for this year and this year only.
Mhm.
Just to point that out. With that being said, I mean, Bayard's 30. He's lost a step. What Bayard was really good at in his like 2020 or 2021, he's like a really, really good player. He was really good at baiting quarterbacks into picks. I mean, you've probably seen the Rams game where he was killing Matthew Stafford. And then he's also really good at man-on-man tight ends. He would just sit there and he would lock down tight ends.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at this point in his career, if you look at where Tennessee was at, you're 2-4. You have a safety who now is getting kind of beat by tight ends consistently
Mhm.
and isn't getting turnovers.
Mhm.
I think he's in a better situation in Philly because their defensive front is so good. He can literally just sit back there and hope for passes to come back to him.
Mhm.
There's a play against Miami last week for Philly where Terrell Edmonds, who they traded off, was in their back quarters defense, and he just let Tyreek Hill run by him. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was supposed to bracket him, just let him run by him.
Mhm.
And that was for a touchdown. I think Kevin Byard obviously doesn't let that play happen. I think Kevin Byard gets a breakup or a pick on that play. So, I mean, it's about making stars in your team and elevating them out. So, I like the move for them because I think they saw like, hey, really, if they don't get that touchdown and we take away that fumble recovery they had, they score 3 points. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move by Howie Roseman, but uh I don't love that matchup for Washington, man. Their offensive line has just been playing poor, and that defensive line's really, 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 really good.
Hmm.
And like it's fun to watch on film. Good. The linebackers play really fast. The corners obviously are really good, and their safeties now are pretty stacked. So I don't see a way Washington scores more than like 10 points this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that, this is tough.
Yeah,
I think this is about to be like another like Sam Howell 2-3 pick game. This is gonna be rough for him. If they get up early and Sam Howell has to throw the ball, this is gonna be rough. The key to me is if I am Washington, my game plan is we are going to slam Brian. Is Brian Robinson healthy?
yeah, they just don't like him anymore.
We are going to run Brian Robinson until this dude's legs run off. Like, I would not throw the ball more than 25 times this game. I'm going to try to have these 10, 12-minute drives, similar to how Washington's upset these teams in the past few years.
Hmm.
Because, like, when you guys beat Philly last year, is really by running the football.
Yeah, we
When
beat
you
him
guys
because
beat when you guys beat Pittsburgh a few years back when they were like 11-0, it was by running the football. I think you guys need to come in, run the football, hope your defensive line can get at it. Hope Jonathan Allen carries that energy over.
yeah.
And I mean, hopefully his defense comes out firing, gets a turnover or two, gets Hurts a little shaky. Because I still don't think Hurts is that good, honestly.
No, he's been
Um,
shaky. He's been shaky all year.
he hasn't really looked that good this year, and I think they're building a super team around him, which is, I mean, it's not a bad thing for Howie Roseman, but
No.
I think if Washington's defense can come out playing fiery, Washington defense can come out playing fast, and they can create turnovers, and that would be amazing. I think Washington could win it. I just don't see it.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I'm gonna just roll with Washington here. I have to. Washington's, my team. Got to roll with it, like Dylan said. Browns Seahawks. We're just gonna shoot by these real quick. Browns Seahawks, really big toss-up game either way. At Seattle, Browns are without Deshaun again. I think Seattle could probably pull through. Now, granted, I could see the Browns defense putting them in some really bad spots and forcing them to make some horrible mistakes. But I'm gonna just take Seattle in this game and roll with Seattle.
Taking Seattle, yeah.
Yeah. Chiefs Broncos. Not even gonna say it. Chiefs. Rams Cowboys. Rams traveling down to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna take Dallas here again. I think the Rams are just depleted at this point. I just don't really see much of anything for the Rams this
I just
season.
haven't seen too much life out of the Cowboys, man, this year. Like, I mean, the defense looked good, but then Trayvon Diggs got hurt, which obviously sucks. With
Mhm.
that being said, I mean, I don't think Dak has looked great. Their running game has looked really, really bad this year, surprisingly, right? Like Tony Pollard, everyone was like, "Oh, get Tony Pollard in the game; it's gonna be so much better." And he's averaging like 3.6 a rush. Like he's not looked good at all.
Mhm.
I, I may pick LA here. Like Dallas just hasn't looked good to me. Like I know we're sitting there being like, "That's insane," but I mean, LA has 3 wins, Dallas has 4. Like now, yeah, LA has 4 losses and Dallas has 2, but Dallas had a bye week, so I'm I may pick LA here. I mean, I don't think the teams are really that much different.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm still gonna roll with Dallas here, just to roll with Dallas, just because it's Dallas. Let's go now to Vikings Packers. Vikings Packers, another game where it's just very meh. I'm gonna just take I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I believe they're red hot after their win on Monday night, and
Yeah,
roll with them. Saints Colts, another good game here for the Saints to bounce back
that's a good
from.
game.
For
Yeah.
the Saints to bounce back from. Colts are trying to. I would just say Colts need just to start losing at this point. No Anthony Richardson. No point of.
I no, I think Indy's. I think Gardner Minshew's been pretty good. I'll pick Indy for sure this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I'm gonna say New Orleans will bounce back. Patriots Dolphins. I'm gonna roll with with Miami here, regardless if Tyreek Hill plays or not. Yeah, I'm gonna roll Miami here. Too
Patriots
dominant.
offense. Yeah, I'm picking Miami for sure.
Mid off of the week, Giants Jets. It's gonna legit be a mid off of the week. If there's a week for Daniel Jones to come back, should not be this week because I think their defense will absolutely eat them alive, minute by minute. I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
yeah.
I'll take the Jets.
Um, I'll
Don't you
I'll take the
fucking.
Giants, but by a little, like not by a lot. Like it's like another like 14-10 game, I think. Like both
Yeah,
offenses are just uninspiring
yeah,
and incredibly bad at football. Like it's
yeah, agreed. Getting our AFC, what is it? AFC divisional rematch of 2017. Jags Steelers, they're actually good now, both of them, shockingly.
Yeah.
I think Jags will probably still smack them around. Nothing will change from 2017. I'll take Jacksonville in this game. So we'll go up to 6-2, and Steelers will fall to 4-3. Texans
Uh,
and oh.
yeah, I mean, I'll take Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah. And Texans Panthers. Yeah, that's gonna be the game of the century. Why this game is not on Sunday Night Football and the Bears are makes me question my life. But Seth, I gotta go with the Houston Texans here.
It's funny because like before the season, after the draft, people kind of circled this game like, oh, we get to see the two quarterbacks match off, and I mean, there's a few minutes left. So realistically, I think Bryce Young has been kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit. People are like, oh, Bryce Young sucks, and I wasn't a big Bryce Young fan, but he's made some nice plays. He's made some really nice throws, and
Yeah,
so he hasn't been bad. The team's been really bad, and he hasn't been like electrifying to like put an energy in the team.
yeah, no.
Cedar Stroud's been really good, like extraordinarily good at football. Which I was a big Stroud fan, and people going up with the S2 tests were stupid. So
yeah.
I think Houston will win pretty big. But I mean, who knows? Who really cares, I guess. But
Yeah. I gotta
both
say, man,
teams are not gonna be great this year anyway, obviously.
yeah, no, Nico Collins' legacy season has been on a roll so
Hey
far.
man, got him in fantasy. He's been saving me some weeks.
Yeah, honestly. Now, Ravens Cardinals. Who cares? Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bengals Niners. I feel like we would talk about this game more. Purdy was playing and Debo was playing and Trent Williams was playing.
Whoa. Let's not sleep on Darnold real quick.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I like Sam Darnold. This is a really good offense for Sam Darnold to operate. I know Debo's out, but you still have Ayuk and Kittle and CMC, which is, by the way, Ayuk, Kittle, and CMC is still probably better than almost any team has in this league.
I just love how
I
you
think
told
we're
me.
going to see a Sam Darnold legacy game, and I think Sam Darnold's about to prove that he's the best quarterback ever. Let's see Sam Darnold have a legacy game and then get traded to Tennessee for a 7th-round pick in 3 years.
Okay.
I'm down for it. I think San Fran wins 38-22. Sam Darnold with 5 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
No, I'm playing. I do like Sam Darnold. I think he'll play okay. He hasn't played football in a while. It feels like I know he played football last year for Panthers, but again, that's a really bad situation, man. And he's never been put in a good one. He was a really talented quarterback, so I'm curious to see what he does in probably a perfect situation for him.
Yeah.
Since he just, I mean, they don't look great. I think their offense has kind of come back a little bit better, but
yeah,
I'll pick San Fran to squeak by. It may be a kind of high scoring game, but like in like the low 30s maybe, but
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah. Sunday Night Football, we have none other than the Chicago Bears traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Yeah.
Yay.
I fucking hate the Bears.
It may be an okay game, honestly, but
the fuck out of here. No, it's not.
I'm saying like for what it is. I'll pick LA to win this game. Is Fields back or no?
No.
What happened to Fields? Hand or wrist? Yeah.
Yeah,
He sucks.
He
sucks.
Fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me the Chargers in this game. I have a passionate hate towards the Chicago Bears. I will forever have a passionate hate towards the Chicago Bears. And after week 4, I now have a sincere hate for the Chicago Bears. And Monday Night Football, night before Halloween, Raiders will travel to Detroit to play the Lions. Don't really know who made this a Monday night game, but I guess we'll roll with it. I'll take the Lions to bounce back from last week's performance against the Ravens, and I think they're going to go out and dominate the Las Vegas Raiders. Because if Tyler Baggett went out there and fucked you up, I think that Jared Goff and Amon-Ra can do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be embarrassed from last week's performance. They got stomped, and we all know Detroit's not that bad of a team as they looked like last week. So anytime you have a coach like Dan Campbell or one of those kind of aggressive coaches like that, and you get stomped, you're going to come out really aggressive.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be like a slap around, and if it's not, it's going to be rough. But I think it'll be one of those slap around. Detroit's gonna put up like 30 in like 2 quarter type games. Like it's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
bad.
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna roll with the Lions. You're rolling with the Lions. Yeah, and that's it. I'd like to be back for one of these next week too. If I don't forget about it, and we go. Like what? Our next video will be the NBA Finals? No, not the NBA Finals. The NFL Draft in 7 months from now.
Next video is gonna be wild card predictions, dude.
Yeah, we always do at least 1 week in the NFL season, the draft, and then the NFL wild card. And then there's always that
Hey,
like
hey, I hope you don't think we're not going live for the draft this year, man. I'm going live again, man. I don't care.
yeah,
I will sit here and cry when we take Caleb Williams at number 1.
yeah, and then you're
I'm
gonna have
joking.
to
Caleb Williams sucks. We'll get to that later.
yeah, I feel like the Titans are now in the situation where if now at this point Mike Vrabel will get traded for a third round pick by some team.
Breaking. Mike Vrabel, Ran Carthon, and the entire Titans team have been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 7th round pick in 3 years. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But we're gonna end off the video today here. Make sure you guys sub. This video will be up in legitimately 30, 45 minutes. And we'll
Why
see
are
you
you telling that? Because they'll be watching it once they're seeing this.
we'll see you beautiful people next week.
You're
Mwah.
not beautiful. Don't